Hey, I wanted to walk through my simple solar model based on your billing history from Green Mountain Power. So basically, what this does is it asks, should you buy or lease the panel at the end of its current PPA lease contract, which is this year. So if you buy it, this would be your outlay, 3,100 for the panel, 785 for the 5-year 1M agreement. If you lease it, this is basically just a discounted number for the future lease payments. So you'll notice it's quite a bit higher, and I'm using a discount rate here of 5%, which is about what I think is your cost of capital, what you would earn if you just kept the money in the bank over that period of time. So discounting those future payments back to the present, because you don't have to pay it all up front. So this captures the difference between paying up front versus paying in the future. And as you can see, even subtracting the interest that you would earn on the money by not paying all up front, but only in the future, it's still quite a bit more. So the question is, what is the rate of return on your investment, whether in the lease or the purchase? It's negative if we have the bear case, the lower projection case. It's pulling from future estimated years. So this is this year so far, and it's normalized as if it were the whole year. Performance has gone down. In the bear case, the minimum, the smallest number, the most decline of all of B is, which is a 10% annual decline. I think that's honestly a little bit unrealistic, and we should probably think more about the base case. You would need some bad weather basically year after year to get a 10% annual decline. It's quite unlikely. But so let's look at the base case here. In the base case, also in the bear case, utility rates don't go up at all, right? So you have zero rate growth, which actually means the solar panel is worth less. You might think, oh, that's a good thing if rates don't go up, and it is, but it also means that your solar panel is worth less because you're not saving as much money on utility bills by having it. So the bear case, that's zero. In the base case, it's a 2.4% rate growth, which is what has been the rate growth between 2014 and 2024. It's grown at 2.4% per year. So we're just going to say it keeps growing at the same rate that it's been growing for the last 10 years, 2.4% in the base case. Okay. So if that's the case, then you'll notice that the value of your solar panel continuously goes up, even though we're modeling some performance degradation where each year it's going down by 0.6%. It's the average of these different numbers where on average it's gone down by 0.6% every year. And that's about similar to, just to sanity check it, that's similar to what large national renewable energy laboratory studies have found, the degradation rate of solar panels on average. So for the base case, it's actually a little bit worse than right? They found about 0.5% on average. They get worse every year, and it's pretty linear. They don't seem to accelerate their declines as they get older. It's just pretty linear, apparently. Didn't find anything in the literature about accelerating decline. So I'm just modeling a 0.6% decline every year, which is the average of your last several years. But that is offset by growth, by the rate growth. You're getting a rising value every year, and actually a quite nice IRR of 12%. That's green because it's well above your discount rate, which is your cost of capital or the hurdle rate that you're trying to hit. It's like you want to do better than you can just sitting in cash, right? If we were to take this up to 15%, then that's going to also discount it at 15%, and your IRR is going to go up because it's the future payments are smaller, right? So the lease outlay is smaller at that higher discount rate. So anyway, you can play around with how it flows through the model. Anyway, 5% is realistic for you as a discount rate. It's a good deal with the lease, but it's a better deal with the buy. You've got 34%, or it's cheaper to buy than to pay all those payments over the years, even if you discount them back to the present. It's for time value of money. Buying is a better deal in the base case. If we go to the bear case, it's still quite a bit of a better deal, right? If you bear case, remember the lease, we were losing money. If we buy in the bear case, you're still making a nice IRR above your cost of capital. So this is why I want you to buy, because you're giving yourself downside protection, even in the case where rates don't grow at all and the panel deteriorates quite significantly, reaching only $222 of value in the final year. If you buy it, you're still making a good internal rate of return. It may be worth only $20 a month, but $19 a month by the end. And if you pay more, say $90 a month, you'll notice how this shifts. Oh, this is less than 90. The colors tell you if it's on a month-to-month basis, if you're getting more or less than what you're paying for. Even if you're getting less, it's still a positive IRR because you're getting more over the term. You're positive in the first years. Money today is worth more than in the future. This pencils out to a reasonable rate of return. Buying is much better than the lease. You can do fine in the lease. With the base case, it's still not as good as buying, even bear case, that's going to get you 14%, whereas leasing, the base case only gets you 12. The bull case still only 12 because actually that's interesting. Why is that? 3% rate growth, base case. Huh. I feel like that should be different, but by 33% of the bull case, 34% of the base case. I have to check that model there, but let me do that and get back to you. Okay, I figured out what the problem. In the base case, I'm using the average of all these, which is actually coming out to a positive number. And the panel's not going to get better year after year unless it gets sunnier. So I'm just going to say that for the average or for the base case, we're just going to have down 1% per year. Fill that through. The base case, it's a little bit worse IRR than the bull case, which it should be the bull case. You're still getting that. Only 0.5% per year is it going down by. So not degrading much base case. Degrading a little bit more, your IRR is lower. But with the lease scenario, you're more exposed to that situation. You're actually dropping to a loss because you don't have rate growth in the bear case. I don't think that's super likely. You would have to have zero rate growth to actually lose money on it, which I don't think is likely. So I don't think the bear case is likely. I think the base case is the most likely between worst case, probably between the base and the bear. But anyway, I just prefer buying because you have more margin of safety. And that's basically how we think about this type of thing.